I gotta tell you guys something. It is great to be back after reporting from the regional championship for Coming Back Exposure. You want to see that? There will be a card on top, and in the description, I apologize for the camera problem because I didn't know it was. I did not know it was gonna be. I didn't know it was gonna be that windy. So we had a couple camera problems and background noises. I apologize for that. Next time I hire a cameraman or something like that, whoever watches this video want to become a cameraman, I'll be available. But there are changes to this, so we're gonna recap some. We're gonna recap some of the issues that were basically not captured because of the thing, and then because of the issue, and then a bit later we'll give you an update. We'll give you an update on the Flower Bluff Veterans Memorial situation. But we're going to start first with the latest in the school shooting in Michigan, because let me tell you, it's just basically because basically it's because of the shooting. I mean, but here's the very latest right now. The parents of the Michigan school shooting are held on a $500,000 bond after each manhunt. This is the latest from CNN. The parents of the teen accused in this week's Stanley, Michigan school shooting pleaded not guilty to involuntary manslaughter Saturday morning after the police said they arrested him in a Detroit warehouse following an hours-long search. A judge in Michigan's Oakland County said bond of $500,000 each for James and Jennifer Crumbley, the parents of Ethan Crumbley. The teen gentleman's suspicion of killing 4 schoolmates and wounding 7 other people in Oxford High School on Tuesday. But there were text messages during his son and Lieutenant Colonel St. Alone in separate rooms made their arrangement for parents by video conference with the judge and their attorneys about the county prosecutor. Both spoke little beyond saying they understood each charge. Jennifer Crumbley appearing to cry in between words and pleaded not guilty to each. During the arraignment, their attorneys stressed their clients had they've been charged with firing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter Tuesday's shooting and were supposed to attend an arraignment on Friday afternoon, authorities said. But they missed the Friday arraignment, making the fugitives say on the search for them. I think, let me tell you something. This goes back to Idaho back in 1992. If you didn't remember back in 1991 or 92, Randy Weaver in Idaho didn't miss his court date. So you might be saying, are you comparing the shooting to Randy Weaver? Well, in retrospect to the parents, yes. But I'm not comparing each case. I'm only comparing the Randy Weaver to the parents. They missed the court dates, so that made it tough. The parents' attorney said the gun was locked and son didn't have free access. Defense lawyers deny prosecutors' contention that he gave Ethan Crumbley unfettered access to the gun that he is accused of using. But the prosecutor had alleged that James Crumbley on November 26 brought the gun to a store in Oxford and that the parents gave the weapon to the son as an early Christmas present, which was weeks away. James Crumbley shook his head as McDonald made both statements. The couple withdrew $4,000 on ATM on Friday, as the official told CNN. Here is what a legal analyst says about the charges. It says legal experts are quick to point out that such charges are far from the norm. It is James and Jennifer Crumbley's 15-year-old son, Ethan, who is accused of pulling the trigger and killing 4 of his fellow high school students. The deputy director says it's usually unusual. We really hold people accountable for giving someone a gun who should have had one. But there is something. There is a clue about this. The text messages. What we have learned so far, we didn't know right until now, was the text messages. And the suspect sent the text message to Mom, but what did those text messages say? And she was like, I'm not mad at you. The prosecutor said the teacher had reported Ethan for using his phone to search for ammunition online. James and Jennifer were notified by email and voicemail, but did not respond to the school officials. She read the text message between the suspect and his mother. I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught. I'm probably going to take most of this half hour to the shooting, but we're going to have more coming up. And next, I'm going to show you some clips from Inside Edition about the shooter. Plus, I'm going to show you 3 clips. 1, 2, 3 from the Inside Edition. They have the very latest on this, and I'm going to bring it up to date on this. We'll be right back. There was more from the school shooting than we ever thought of. The parents were summoned, but there was more to this. This was the latest CBS News. It said the parents were summoned to the school and were told they needed to enter Ethan into counseling. In the next 48 hours, prosecutor said James was removed from class with his backpack, but the parents resisted the idea of making Ethan leave the school, she added. But the parents resisted the idea of making Ethan leave school and failed to inspect his backpack and ask him if he had the gun with him. The prosecutor claimed Ethan eventually returned to class with the gun. So in this, the parents never searched the backpack. Like in this particular case here, this is I'm getting off topic here. There was a Dateline story from 1996 of a troubled teen. His name is Dan Weber. No trust issues. That's what it was. And then Diane did the right thing, like searching his pockets, stripping down, put your hands in his pockets, and man, rules are don't take nothing in your pockets. But do you think it's going too far, just searching bags? I mean, you can leave that for the police. After the news of the shooting broke, the prosecutor said Jennifer sent a message to Ethan at 1:22 p.m. reading, "Ethan, don't do it." Almost 15 minutes later, James called 911 and reported a gun missing from the house. Telling responders he believed his son was the active shooter of the high school. But the Attorney General said she fully supports the decision to charge the parents. She said, I fully support the Prosecutor McDonald's insurance of charges against Jennifer and James Crumbley. Demanding the accountability of the child's parents under the circumstances presented is not appropriate or crucial. Nassel said in a statement, my heart continues to go out to the families who lost their child in this unforgivable tragedy. We must not let this pass without properly addressing gun violence and responsible gun ownership. I think that was a good reason to charge the parents. Now, there are some latest stuff happening, so let's start by looking into the photo. Now this guy, this 15 on Instagram at 15, which is a juvenile. At 15, you're still a juvenile, so why be sent...
Student.
Why would people be sent to adult... Why would 15-year-olds be sent to adult jail when at 15, do 18, you're a juvenile? So here's the latest from Inside Edition. This was the first photo of this kid.
But he's being charged as an adult. Amber Cogliano has more.
Here's Amber.
He's the baby-faced suspect in the school shooting saying his prayers. He was arraigned today as an adult on 4 counts of murder as his parents watched via Zoom.
I'm Jennifer Crumbly.
James Crumbly.
Ethan here.
15-year-old Ethan Crumbly's father reportedly bought the gun used in the shootings, a Sig Sauer 9mm, just last Friday. The teen posted this photo of the weapon with the caption, "Just got my new beauty today." Student Isaac Fantich was in class with the suspect the morning of the shooting.
He looked depressed, like when you see him.
That day or every day?
Every day.
And these students are being praised today for their quick thinking in the midst of the school shooting. You can hear somebody trying to persuade the students to open the door.
Sheriff's office. Taking them out.
But the savvy kids don't buy it.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door. Look at my bag, bro.
That does it. When they hear the word bro, they believe it's the shooter.
He said bro. Red flags.
They flee out a window and rush across a courtyard to safety.
Slow down, you're fine.
But Sheriff Michael Bouchard said today it wasn't the school shooter behind the door.
More than likely it was one of our plainclothes detectives, and he may have been talking bro in a conversational manner to try to bring them down from the crisis. The suspect never knocked on the door.
I spoke with security expert Bill Stanton.
How savvy, how smart were these kids to question this voice behind the door?
They asked the right questions, they listened, and they made their threat assessment, and they listened to their instinct, and they evaded potential danger.
The drama unfolded at Oxford High School outside Detroit.
We're in lockdown right now.
Teachers and students rushed to barricade the doors. Police disarmed the 15-year-old shooter within 5 minutes, but 4 students were killed and 7 others wounded, including a teacher. 16-year-old Tate Meir died a hero trying to disarm the shooter.
Everything about us is tough.
Tate Meir was number 42 on the football team. Today, there's a petition to name the school stadium after him. Madison Baldwin was a bright 17-year-old senior. Amid the chaos after the shooting, her grandmother appealed for information on Facebook. Please help. My granddaughter Madison cannot be located. Please ask your children if they've seen her. Sadly, Madison was among those slain. Hannah St. Juliana is the youngest victim, just 14 years old. She was a talented volleyball player. Just a month before the shooting, the students had been given training in how to react in a school shooting, including how to fight back. The training kicked in when it counted.
He said bro. Red flag.
County prosecutor today said they are also weighing charging both of the parents of the suspect and say they'll make that decision swiftly.
And speaking of that, here is the parents. But every school has a training video. I think they follow that pretty good. But that was a month. I think it'd be best to review that shooting. But that'd be another video. So they should just premeditation. So let's take a look.
A breathable, comfy new.
Take a look.
Wake of the school shooting in Michigan that left 4 students dead, 15 school districts across the Detroit metro area were closed today because of threats of violence on social media. All this coming as we've learned more about the 15-year-old now charged as an adult with first-degree murder and terrorism. The prosecutor says it was premeditated, pointing to what she describes as his disturbing social media posts.
Police say they have found a horde of graphic journal entries and disturbing videos made by the accused school shooter. I spoke with Sheriff Michael Bouchard.
I would characterize a lot of the stuff that we've now seen as dark and as cold-blooded.
One post from Ethan Crumbly declares, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. See you tomorrow, Oxford." The quotation can be found in a gory video game.
I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Several years ago, Crumbly made this video showing off his collection of violent games.
We got Battlefield 4. Comment if you want to play that one. Hopefully we'll get to another Nazi Zombies video.
2 weeks before the shooting, Crumbly commented on this YouTube video of a 9mm gun being fired at a shooting range. He wrote, "This is the gun I'm going to use," with a smiley face. His father bought another gun, the one used in the shooting on Black Friday.
Sir, do you understand all the charges against you?
Yes, I do.
Yesterday, his parents watched on a Zoom link from their car as he was arraigned.
You are the parents of Ethan Crumbly, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
That's correct.
I'm Jennifer Crumbly.
James Crumbly.
Now, they may face charges too.
Try to pass.
This video shows him shooting hoops with his buddies, a regular kid from the neighborhood.
Today we are doing a little basketball game. 2 against 2 right now.
Now Ethan Crumbly is in isolation in an adult jail.
A candlelight vigil to honor the victims is planned for downtown Oxford on Friday night.
One more. All right. A third video when we come back and a preview of a special coming break weeks from now. There's still more in the shooting like we talked about. The gun that was in his bag. Now the parents are sitting at a bond. There's a news conference there. So let's get the latest now for more for Inside Edition.
Drama regarding the deadly high school shooting in Michigan, just moments after it was announced that the parents of the accused shooter were being charged with involuntary manslaughter, came the bombshell report. Authorities had no idea where the parents were, and they were no-shows for their scheduled arraignment. Ann Mercogliano reports.
Mystery surrounds the whereabouts of the parents of the accused school shooter after being charged with involuntary manslaughter. Sheriff Michael Bouchard revealed the stunning development on CNN, saying they are considered fugitives.
We sent detectives out and got a call from the lawyer for the couple saying they're not returning her calls or texts. So if they think they're going to get away, they're not.
So the Crumbleys are missing now?
Correct.
Have you searched their house?
Oh, we have, a host of detectives out, including our partners with the FBI and the U.S. Marshal Service. If they think they're going to run, we're going to remedy that.
Police issued these photos of James and Jennifer Crumbly and an image of the Kia SUV they are apparently driving. But their lawyer said they left town for their own safety and are not fleeing law enforcement, and were on their way back to Oxford, Michigan to face arraignment tonight. The couple allegedly fled following the announcement of the charges by prosecutor Karen McDonald, who revealed the gun used in the shooting was bought for 15-year-old Ethan Crumbly as an early Christmas gift.
One of Jennifer Crumbly's social media posts on about 11/27/21 read, quote, "Mom and Sunday testing out his new Christmas present," end quote.
She said the parents were called to the school after a teacher found a chilling note on Crumbly's desk. It showed a drawing of a gun with the words, "The thoughts won't stop. Help me. Blood everywhere. My life is useless and the world is dead."
The notion that a parent could read those words and also know that their son had access to a deadly weapon that they gave him is unconscionable, and I think it's criminal. It is criminal.
During the meeting at school, prosecutors say 15-year-old Ethan actually had his gun in his backpack. His parents were given 48 hours to get him counseling, and he was allowed to return to class. Apparently, no one thought to ask him if he had his gun. Just hours later, he launched his shooting spree.
Of course he shouldn't have gone back to that classroom. Of course he shouldn't have.
She says after the shooting began, Crumbly's mother texted him, "Ethan, don't do it." His father also suspected it was Ethan. He called police after the shooting, saying he believed his son was responsible.
The 9mm handgun purchased by James Crumbly was stored unlocked in a drawer in James and Jennifer's bedroom.
Court TV's Ashley Wilcott.
This is a huge deal. In fact, I couldn't believe it when someone said to me, breaking news, that parents are being charged. And here's why. Because it's never happened before that I know of in a case of a school shooting.
The prosecutor said she brought the charges to send a message.
We need to do better in this country. We need to say enough is enough. For our kids, our teachers, parents, for all of us.
Funeral arrangements have now been announced for 3 of the 4 victims. The first will be held on Saturday.
God, this is worse. But now we know the text messages, the gun was in the bag, and probably after that counseling, he started going out and shooting people. That's probably when it all started. But the parents are in a bond now. The kid's in jail as a 15-year-old. You shouldn't be sending a 15-year-old to adult jail. If he's 15, he's a juvenile. You can't charge juveniles. Let me ask this question. The basics of juvenile law. This is the basic of juvenile law. In short, it's like a person who's 10 years old and under the age of 17 can be charged as a juvenile. Once a person who's 17 in Texas, he's legally considered as an adult. What about in Michigan? According to Michigan probate code, if a juvenile 14 years of older is accused of an act, if it committed by an adult world, it'd be a felony. So, if you're under the age of 18 and accused, consider a serious crime, or if you're a juvenile and child in charge of the crime, and it's just basically that. You can't be sending a 15-year-old to adult jail. You can't be doing that crap. It's not right here. I'll be back in a moment. Now to an update on Friday's special. As you know, yesterday I told you I reported from the behind the Hornet Stadium. I reported from the stadium behind me. I want to apologize for the camera, the wind, and the background noises. I tried my best, so next time when we do this, I will try my best to handle the situation like it's always handled. But I'm off on Monday. No, I'm going to be off on Sunday. So as we got going on for you coming up tomorrow on Monday. We'll bring you more information and we'll bring you more COVID. And we'll bring you a story about a mother who was charged with beating her daughter to death, which is child abuse. We're also going to talk about how you can survive a school shooting, like in that video we saw, because these things happen. We don't have the proper training, nothing happens. Right? We have police officers, every school district police officers in every state, like in Texas, CCISD, Florida, Bluff, Dam, a couple. That's going to be happening on Monday. Tuesday's going to be the same thing. I'm going to be talking about, probably going to be the same thing, talking about shooting, school shootings, tips. I'm also going to talk about the project going a closer look at the construction. That's all coming up. That's part of where it's happening Monday and Tuesday. That's all for this edition of Comeback Break Saturday going into Sunday. We'll see you again. I'm off on Sunday, so we'll see you again for Comeback Break Monday. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you. Love us here at YouTube. Have a good night.